Hi, Diksha. Namaskaram.
How are you?
Good,
Namaskaram.
good.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm great. I'm so glad this is happening. I've been following your page for a while. Awesome. So, you want me, is it okay if I take like a minute to just introduce you and
Oh,
just
you
set
can take all the
context
time
for
you
today?
want. Sure, sure. No worries. I'm
Okay,
free.
great. Great. Lovely, lovely. So I'll just introduce one. I'll introduce Dr. Diksha, and I'll also set context for how this conversation is happening. So I've been following her account for a couple of months now, and I always find the content very inspirational. It's very informative. A lot of information about the ancient science of Ayurveda and how it's very relevant in today's time. So what I love about her sort of posts and her stories is that she sort of capsules everything, all the relevant information into small posts, which makes it very, very easy for anyone sort of, who's not really very aware of the deeper science of Ayurveda to understand things that make their daily life very simple. So in some sense, like I used to struggle a lot with sinusitis issues. I've been seeing her posts, and every few weeks there'll be a tip or a remedy, and there's simple things that you can incorporate in your life. So I find that super helpful, and that's why I've always found her account really helpful and beneficial. Okay, great, lovely. So for today's session, I've been doing a couple of lives from time to time with other Hatha Yoga teachers, Isha Hatha Yoga
Yeah,
teachers.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and
aware about that.
yeah,
I have
great.
seen you. Yeah.
Yeah, and we did this short session on immunity boosting foods where we talked about just a few simple remedies that we can do to, boost your immunity. So we were discussing about neem and turmeric, amla, honey,
Yeah.
peppercorns. And so it was a very short live. We just gave whatever little tips and remedies we were aware of that were recently introduced. But of course, you're the expert, you're the Ayurvedic expert. And I'll be honest. There are a couple of questions that came in that, of course, it isn't within my um, uh, uh, realm of knowledge to be able to answer that
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I'm not an expert in Ayurveda. Of course, I read and I try to educate myself, but it would be unfair for me to answer as an expert because I'm simply not. So having
Okay.
you on our live is a great opportunity for us to hear it from the experts. So thank you so
Yeah.
much, Diksha, for doing this.
I'm really glad. I was invited by you. It made me really happy. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Okay. Yeah.
inviting.
Oh, thank you so much. Lovely. So let's begin. I know that
Okay.
it's been about like 40 odd days since the lockdown. It's been people are
Yes.
obviously there's a lot of awareness around things like washing our hands, using sanitizers, and maintaining that basic hygiene around corona. But one of the
Yeah.
most important things that people, of course, want to do is build a strong immune system, because that is one thing that will hold you good throughout these difficult times like this, and even in the future. That's why talking about immunity boosting foods and is something that became so relevant for us. Just if you can just start by giving us some few tips that simple things that people can incorporate in their lives and how exactly they can gradually build their immunity.
Okay, okay. So, before discussing about immunity boosting foods, first I would like to discuss about this word food. I mean, what is food? Actually, what I believe is there are two types of food, like physical food and soul food. Physical food is something we have for our body. You getting me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can, okay, okay. Is there an network issue?
Yeah, I lost you for a second, but then now you're good.
Okay, okay. So, okay,
Yeah, I can
let's
hear you now.
continue.
Hmm.
So, I believe there are two kinds of food. Physical food is something that we intake for our physical body, and soul food is a totally different thing.
Got
So,
it.
physical food is certainly our diet.
Yep.
And long back, we used to believe that what we eat is our diet. But now each and everybody knows that it's not just what we eat. It's what we watch, what we listen to, what we read, the people we hang around. All of this is our diet.
So
So it's not
everything
just
you're
about
consuming in that sense.
100%. So it's not just about consuming something orally is diet. It's about all of these things. Now then comes about soul food. Soul food is something which makes our soul happy. You know, for some, it could be like just spending some time with their loved ones, or reading a novel, or just meditation, sadhana, pranayams. It could be a food. It could be a food for somebody, you know, a comfort food or something. So we need to take care of all of these things. Physical food, also soul food. Then only we can boost our immune system. It's not just by popping some pills or by having some a few spices. It's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for immunity boosting food, there is a simple characteristic of these foods, and the most important one is they should be easily digested. You know, there are so many times, let's assume that we suffer from acidity, and a doctor may prescribe you an antacid. But if that doesn't work, doctor might prescribe a higher dose of an antacid. If that doesn't work, doctor might suggest you an injection. You know why? Because a certain food, a tablet, it needs to go for a proper digestion. If it's digested properly, then only it's going to work. If it's heavy for us to digest, it won't. While injection, it directly goes in whatever area it is supposed to be, the target.
Yeah.
So immunity boosting foods are such foods that are really easy for anybody to digest, whether it's a kid, whether it's an adult or an elder, for everybody. So it should be very easy for digestion. That is simple characteristic of all immunity boosting foods.
Lovely.
Okay. And the best time to consume this food, according to me, I would say it's first thing in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. First thing in the morning on an empty
stomach. Yeah, even you people, you have this turmeric and neem balls. That is in the morning, na?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So, those are the instructions we've received from Sadhguru as well, you know, that you must consume these first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's when the maximum benefit happens. So what you're saying is exactly right.
You know, because, you know, for at least 8 to 9 hours, we have been sleeping. So we are on kind of dry fasting. Our body is in the mode of rest and digest. So whatever we'll consume first thing in the morning, it's going to get really digested very easily. And we'll have maximum benefits.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we are done with the intro. Now let's get to the main immunity boosting foods.
Yes.
So there are lots of foods in the market, but right now today we'll talk about those which we have in our kitchen. We don't need to go anywhere in the market to search for them. So first one is my ultimate favorite. It's turmeric.
Yeah.
Yes. So, it's incomparable, I would say. It's because, you know, turmeric is something which is a good cleanser, internally and externally as well. It's best for our blood. Anything that is bitter in taste is a very good blood cleanser.
Yes. Okay.
And we are just made up of earth and water is our blood and our lymphatic system. So if that's dirty, it's not going to make us feel physically better. You know, we'll be having negative vibes while suffering from skin disorders. This happens to so many of my patients. If they are suffering from acne or maybe urticaria or so many disorders, itching, something, they don't feel good. It's because their blood is toxified. So turmeric is first immunity boosting food, and each and everyone can have it. First thing in the morning, I would suggest. Now, along with turmeric, what I always talk about is black pepper.
Yes.
Because turmeric, it gets digested so soon that our liver doesn't get enough time to absorb the nutrients from that. So when we add the black pepper contains papain. It's an active ingredient in black pepper. So when curcumin, which is a component in turmeric, when we add it with papain, our body can digest it very easily. It's easier for our liver to absorb all the nutrients, and we'll get then we it will be useful for us as an antioxidant, or it's an anti-inflammatory,
Hmm.
anti-cancerous. So to procure all the benefits of turmeric, it's best to have it with a little, just a dash of black pepper.
Lovely. Yeah.
Now the third one is a very important fat, that is ghee, cow's ghee. Are you vegan?
No, no, I'm not.
No, okay, okay. So there are so many people who are vegan. So especially for them, they can have a coconut butter. It is good as well. But
Hmm.
cow's ghee is first, because
Hmm.
there are certain vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, K. Vitamin A is good for our eyes. Vitamin D for our bones. Vitamin K for blood system. Vitamin E for our hairs and skin.
Yes.
All of these vitamins are fat soluble. So if we don't have enough fat in our body, if you pop a pill, you sit under the sunlight, it's not going to be useful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we need to have a very good kind of fat in our body. And yes, cow's ghee is something which is available everywhere, I would
Yeah.
say. Olive oil, avocados oil, yeah, sure, we can have them. But ghee is something even a villager would be able to find it very easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr.
So yeah,
Diksha, so ghee is also really good for your digestive system, right? Like it keeps your colon
yes,
clean.
100%. Even people suffering from constipation, indigestion, can have this ghee with lukewarm milk at night. You
Yes.
can just
Okay.
have a warm milk, add a little bit of turmeric, black pepper, and just 1 teaspoon of ghee, and you're good to go.
Okay. Lovely.
Okay. Now then comes this flax seeds. So flax seeds, so many people consume it as a mouth freshener. We have it
Hmm.
after our meals, post
Hmm.
meals, with maybe fennel seeds or something, because it contains omega-3 fatty acids. It's very good for cholesterol, and it is very healthy fat as well. But very important part here is people don't know how to consume it. It's very fibrous, so it's heavy for digestion.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
before using flax seeds, we are supposed to dry roast them.
Okay.
After roasting, we have to grind them, make it in the
Okay.
form of powder, and then you
Okay.
might use it in water, or you could use it on your salads, on your fruits, in your cooking, however you like. But instead of just chewing it, if your digestion is weak, it's best to roast them, grind them,
Hmm.
and then consume them.
Okay. Great. Great. So in
Um,
winters, my mother makes these pinnies, and she
but
puts flax seeds, roasted and ground flax seeds in that also. And yeah.
perfect. Roasted and ground is the best method to procure all the vitamins from this flax seeds.
Okay. Okay. Lovely.
Then comes moringa. You know about that? We call it drumstick.
Drumsticks, yeah. So I have to
Yes.
tell you this in Isha in the ashram. So we get a lot of moringa in the sambar that we consume. So
Wow,
the food is
that's
amazing.
wonderful.
I'm sure you'll love it if you happen to go to the ashram. And
I
they
would.
use a lot of moringa in the food. So the sambar will always have a lot of drumsticks. And it's one of those superfoods that they say is really, really good for you.
It's the best one. You know why? Because drumstick, it contains more iron than spinach. It
Okay,
contains
wow.
more protein. It contains more protein than yogurt. It also contains more vitamin A than carrots. Now, what could be better than this? We'll
Yeah,
have everything just from a simple food. And it's very easy to find. We have this moringa trees growing everywhere. We
yeah,
can find the leaves, we can find the sticks. We get it in the market.
yeah.
It's our local food. So
And
it's,
what about consuming moringa tablets? How about if somehow you're not able to use it in your food? Is it okay to consume moringa tablets?
yes, yes, 100%. You can have moringa in the form of a powder, in the form of a tablet or capsule.
Okay.
It's effective. There's no issue
Okay.
about that. Or
Okay. Great.
if you have it in the powder form, you might just add it in your water. If you're having some warm water in the morning, just add a little bit of moringa in it. Especially for kids, you can add this moringa even in their chapatis. They wouldn't know about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
Lovely.
a good way of giving moringa to each and everybody in the house if they don't like the taste. But it doesn't have many taste. It's good, I would say. It's
Yeah.
easy for anybody to consume that one.
I personally love eating it in the sambar because it's so delicious.
Yeah, wonderful. See, there's a difference. Moringa stick and moringa leaves both are part of the same tree, but moringa stick, it's really useful for bad body aches. If somebody is having a knee joint
Correct.
pain or maybe
Yeah.
muscle pain, it's good. Moringa
Yeah.
stick, I especially suggest my patients to have moringa stick soup in the morning for this ache. But all the vitamins which I told you about, like it's protein, it's vitamin A, it's iron, all of this is in its leaves.
Leaves. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So the capsules or the powder you get in the market is of the leaf and not of the stick. Stick you
Got
can
it.
consume it regularly as curry or however you like, but especially leaves are more important.
Okay, lovely. Great, great. Somebody is asking a question that is moringa curry leaf. No, moringa, and what is moringa in Hindi? So I'm not sure what it's called in Hindi, but it's if you Google drumsticks or moringa, you'll be able to see the image, which I think will help you identify
Sure.
the
I don't
plant.
know, but I don't know its Hindi name, but drumstick is, and everybody calls it drumstick,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
around
yeah.
here. So, yeah. Okay, after that, this one is pretty easy and we can have it at home. It's wheatgrass. You must have heard about it.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So, yeah, we can grow it at home. We can have it a capsule or we might have it in the form of powder. So, especially, why wheatgrass? Because it's very good for hemoglobin. It's very good for those suffering from dengue, low platelets count, or maybe suffering from weakness. Even it helps in reducing this BP and diabetes. So it's good for everybody. We don't have a contraindication that you shouldn't have it. Each and everybody can have it. But with
Okay.
moringa, I forgot to tell this. Moringa is very hot in potency. It's hot. So I would suggest the people who, especially girls, if they are suffering from excessive bleeding, or people who suffer from this acidity or gastric ulcers, heartburns, they should try to have moringa in very, very little amount because if it's
Okay.
hot, it might induce that thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just a little caution with moringa, but with wheatgrass, it's totally fine. Each and everybody can have it. A kid of 5-year-old can have it. And it's
Okay.
tasteless. Especially for cancer patients, wheatgrass is the best herb, I would say.
Okay, lovely. And wheatgrass, you can have it like in a juice form or something also.
Yeah, sure. You just take a little bit of wheat germs, a handful of wheat germs. You just sow them in your pot. In 7 days, the grass will
It will
grow.
sprout.
Just
Yeah.
cut them. Yeah, just cut them, mix in water, and you can have it in the form of juice first thing in the morning.
Okay, great, great.
Then this one is really easy and everybody will love it. It's buttermilk.
Ah, yes. Buttermilk is a
Yes.
favorite item.
Yeah. And one more thing I would like to clear here that so many people think that curd, yogurt is very good for our gut. It's a probiotic, and we read so many things about it on the internet. But Ayurveda says that yogurt it's not something we can have it on daily basis.
Absolutely.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very hot in potency. You can't have it
Exactly.
daily.
Yeah.
Instead of that, you just add 2 glasses of water and it will be your buttermilk. You can have as much buttermilk as you like.
Yeah. So this is interesting because they say buttermilk is cooling in nature, but curd or dahi is actually heating in nature.
Yes, 100%. It's like that. It's about sanskar. Ayurveda is all about sanskar means different procedures we do on a single food. Just a normal water. If you boil it, it will be having different properties. If you cool it, it will be having different properties.
Lovely, yeah.
So
that's so great. Even with honey, right? The way you consume it'll behave differently in your system.
yes, and honey. Thank God you reminded me about this. We should never hit honey. So many people are having it with very, very hot water. We can't do that.
Absolutely.
It's poisonous.
Yes, so that's what we discussed this in one of our lives as well, that there's a tendency that we'll replace sugar in our tea and we'll have honey instead. But putting honey in
Yes,
boiling hot water or cooking with honey or baking with honey, it makes it actually toxic because honey should never be
yes,
heated.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So I'm so
100%.
glad that you're confirming that.
Okay. Then see, this one is my comfort food. It's khichdi.
Yeah,
You know, when we are sick now, we are fed with this khichdi always, because khichdi is sick food. Because while
yeah.
we are sick, our digestion is very bad. Our
Yeah.
digestion needs a very good rest, and
Hmm.
khichdi doesn't hamper our digestion. It will help boost it.
Yeah.
And just adding few spices, you can add a little bit of ginger, turmeric, cumin, whatever you like in your
Hmm.
khichdi. You might add your veggies in it, and it will
Hmm.
be tasty.
Hmm. And it's
So
so
khichdi,
healthy as well. Like it's such a nutritious meal, right?
yes,
With
you
vegetables.
can consume it anytime, every
Hmm.
day, if you like. There are no
Yeah.
side effects to khichdi. Okay, so along with this, very important things is our fruits, seasonal fruits. They are best immune boosting fruits because
Yeah.
they are best to be consumed during those seasons. Like now, it's going to be mangoes soon. So you can have mangoes, whether you're
Yeah.
diabetic or if you are struggling to lose weight, that doesn't mean you can't have mango. It's 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 all about the having food in moderation and not just being greedy about it. You can
Yeah.
have everything you like, but just in moderation. Everything in moderation is healthy, and
Plus,
everything in
even the
excess is
emotion with
disease.
which you have it, right? If you're having something that, oh, I have to eat healthy, I have to eat healthy, but you're always stressed about eating healthy, then what's the point of
That
eating all that healthy food if you're going to be stressed about it and you're going to be causing so much negative emotion about it, right?
yes, yes, 100%. Because what we think our body cells, they listen it. They
Yeah.
listen to our thoughts. So we are not supposed to eat anything with guilt. If you want to have a piece of your chocolate cake, just have it if you love it. And if you don't want to have it, if you just want to guilt around it, then try to avoid it. Either have it happily or just live it. But having it
Absolutely.
with guilt, oh my God, it's really bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is so true with anything. As long as you're eating it with a
Everything.
certain positive emotion, with joy, with gratitude, it's going to behave so differently in your system.
Yes. 100%. That's why, the food which is cooked from our mother's hand, it's the best food in the whole world. Also, the prasad from the temple that we get,
Hmm.
it's incomparable. Mother's hand food and the prasad, because it is cooked with so much of love, so
Yeah.
much of positivity. That is why it will never do bad. A prasad or a home cooked food is never going
Hmm.
to do any bad to you. That's what I believe.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
So these are more than enough immunity boosting foods. We have all of this at home. But other than that, especially citrus fruits, all the berries, you might have your strawberries, mulberries, your blackberries, oranges, all the citrus fruits you can have because they are high in vitamin C,
Hmm.
which is a must for our immune system.
Yeah, yeah. And what about amla? Because Sadhguru said that you should soak amla with honey and black peppercorn and have it in the morning. That's also really good for your immunity.
Oh my God. Amla is my favorite. It's best for hairs. Anybody suffering from any kind of hair issues, whether it's hair fall, whether it's thin hairs, whether it's white hairs, Amla is the solution for everything. It
Okay,
even
wow.
works for Yes, it even works for ladies suffering from hemoglobin problems. Like
Okay,
you
wow. I
feel
didn't know that. So I used to think, amla is a very, very, of course, I thought it's just limited to being a very, very rich source of vitamin C. And of course, being good for your hair, but I had no idea that it's got so many benefits.
amla is something just like wheatgrass. I told you, amla, each and everybody can have it. You might have it with honey in the morning, or you can just juice an amla and you can have it in the form of an amla juice. You can have it just raw, however you like. There is no compare. It's my ultimate favorite. I didn't talk about it today because since I started my account, I have been talking about Amla in my each and every video. It's like so many of my clients, they told me like, yeah, you are that Amla doctor. Oh my god, I stopped talking about it after that. So many my local clients, they're like, yeah, ma'am, we saw your video on hairs and you told so many times about Amla. I was like, yeah, Amla is awesome. But
Okay,
we don't
great.
have it in this season. Actually, it's gone now. We don't get it here. That is why it's best if you have your seasonal fruits. Amla has to be consumed by everybody, especially in winters, because that's Amla season.
Okay, lovely, great, great.
Other than that, along with all of this, if all of our viewers, if they think that just consuming all this is gonna help, then it's not. Because along with this, we also need to do few other things like sleeping. Having a really good night's sleep is very important. Exercising regularly is important. Also, drinking enough water is very, very important. And eating home cooked food, especially during this time. Just popping on something or eating having just one glass of water with turmeric, black pepper, and then just binging on whatever you like and watching television every day. Not moving from your couch is not going to help.
Absolutely.
So we have to inculcate all of these things in our daily life. Then only it's going to be useful.
Yeah. So in fact, this time, the period of this lockdown has been very powerful in a certain way because it's given people an opportunity to really focus on their health and their well-being. So
100%.
it's in a way it's really good for us in some way for mankind because we're not eating out, we're not polluting our environment, we're not stressing about things, we're not spending time in our commutes. So there is time for us to eat better, for us to do yoga, for us to just really work on our well-being, for us to meditate, sleep well, regulate our sleep cycles.
Totally, I totally agree. It's the best time. We read this quote is now cliche that if you can't go out, go in. But we really need to implement it. This is the best time to go in, to realize what is your inner purpose. Once we know our purpose, it's very easy for us to know what we are supposed to do, what is going to make us happy. It's all about discovering yourself. There are people who doesn't have enough time, who actually don't know what they want to do. It's like everybody's confused. Once their studies get over, they'll be doing a job, they'll get married, and then the life is over. It's just like that. We need to. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, with every patient, with my every post, whatever I do, I always try to bring this thing in everybody's mind that please discover yourself. It's important. It's very, very important.
This opportunity to be quiet and within ourselves, it also gives us a different kind of intelligence. To be really in tune with our bodies, in tune with our minds. So instead of sort of, just following anything from a fad or a trend or just looking at a post and saying that, okay, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. Actually pay attention to how it's behaving in your system. If something works for someone else, maybe it doesn't work for you. So just pay a little attention to your body and to your self within. How is it making you feel?
Yes, you brought a very, very good point in this. Right? So many people complain that something worked for somebody, it's not working for me. Especially for weight loss patients, there are people. Few medicines work for somebody, few doesn't. But we need to understand that each and everybody of us, all of us are different. So our body is different. Our body is not going to react in the same manner.
And that's the principle of Ayurveda and Siddha, right? These sciences, because they are designed for the individual. It isn't like a paracetamol that will work for everyone.
There is nothing that works for everybody.
To that individual person. That is why it's so unique, this science.
Yes, that's the best thing about Ayurveda. I love. It's different for everybody. It's not like you had something, and if you tell somebody else, it might work, it might not.
Absolutely.
So it's all about discovering our body, listening to our body. Especially this time, I'm learning more about this, listening to our body, what our body actually needs. Whether we are hungry, really we are hungry, or it's just emotional hunger out of watching something on TV, or just watching a pic of something and okay, you want to eat something. It's not like that.
It's so nice that you brought that up because today is actually Ekadashi. So
Oh,
Ekadashi is the day for fasting, right? So it's interesting that you brought
yes.
up this also because a lot of time we find that, you know, we're so programmed to eat, say, 3 meals a day or whatever, 2.5 meals in a day. And a lot of times, are we really eating out of hunger or are we eating out of habit or boredom, you know?
Yes. Yeah, boredom, especially.
Yeah.
We are bored, just have something.
Hmm.
That's a very normal thing for us. Just getting bored, bring something from your fridge, have it, watch TV.
Hmm. Yeah, it's nice that you brought this up because I think, you know, one of the things now in Isha, when we teach yoga, there are also certain conditions that you have to meet. So the practices that you do, often a lot of the practices require you to be on an empty stomach. So either, you know, first thing
Oh,
in the morning you're doing your practices, or if you're doing it during the day, then you need to keep at least a 4 hour gap between your meals.
yeah,
So,
yes.
so sometimes, you know, initially people really struggle with that because if they're doing their practices twice a day and they're used to eating 3 meals, then for them to work
Yes,
that around, you know, making sure that they're on an empty stomach to
yes.
do their practices, while initially they struggle with it, a lot of them will come back to me and tell me, you know, that after a few days they got so used to that, you know, they realized that they were overeating all this time because
Yes.
just out of habit or boredom that you're going to eat 3 meals in a day, but you realize you're consuming way more than what your body actually needs.
Yes. True. That's really true. We'll start listening to our body that okay, we are not actually hungry.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just out of habit and boredom and emotional craving for anything out of just watching TV or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant. This has been so great, Dr. Diksha. You know, maybe we just quickly scroll and go through the questions if there's something
sure.
that, you know, we can
Yeah.
quickly address. So I'll just scroll. Somebody's asked about body heat, how to manage excess heat in the system. So when like pit increases, how do you simple remedies for that?
Oh, sure. So first we need to discover our dosha. That's very important. Whether you are hit, I mean, whether you are of Pitta Prakriti, or you have hit in your body because of your schedule. Like you might be sleeping really late, having late dinners, or not exercising properly, binging on very spicy food, stale
Hmm.
food, fermented. So
Hmm.
we need to first discover what's the problem there. But
Hmm.
if you have acidity, or if you feel heat in your body, then coriander is best for that. You might have
Coriander.
coriander
Okay.
water. You can have coriander water throughout the day. Just
Okay.
soak few raw corianders at night. First thing in the morning, boil that water and have it throughout the day.
Okay. Great.
Also,
Great.
few raisins are good. You black raisins, soak them overnight. In the morning, eat those raisins. You can also drink that water. This
Okay.
whole remedy, each and everybody have these things at home, so you can have it, and your health will be in control. Whether you know about what's the cause, but these things are gonna work.
Okay. Great. So coriander and coriander water and raisins soaked overnight, and
Raisins.
also the water can be consumed. Great.
Yes.
This is helpful. Okay. Is flaxseed heating for pitta? Somebody's asked.
Yes, yes, it is.
Flaxseed is
Flaxseeds have
heating.
clotting potency. It's good for weight loss. It's good for cholesterol. And cholesterol, what is it? It's a fat. Cholesterol is a kind of fat. If flaxseeds work in losing weight and cholesterol, it has to be hit. But roasting it and converting it in the form of powder, it won't make it hot. Everybody can have it. There are no issues
Okay.
with that. And
Okay.
still, if you feel it's hot, you can add a little bit of ghee with your flax seeds and then have them.
Okay. Okay. Great.
That's perfect.
Okay. Somebody is asking, should we soak and have flax seeds?
Soaking flax seeds, yeah, sure, you might soak them. It's okay. It's okay
It's
to
okay
soak
to
them,
soak
but
flax seeds.
powder. Yeah, it will be easier for digestion when you soak them overnight, because all the uh, flax seeds, especially almonds, we soak it overnight and have our almonds, or
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
moong and all your beans, we soak them because they have certain chemicals in them. They are known as tannins. And because of that chemicals, we are not able to absorb those vitamins, that protein from them. But
Yes,
soaking it overnight, it will take away that chemicals.
absolutely.
So
A
best,
lot
yeah,
of times
soaking
even
and
sprouting
having.
the dals is really good
Yes,
for
yeah, it's
digestion.
really good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Nehal's asking if banana and mango can be had with milk.
See, fruits should never be had with any other food item. Fruits are supposed to be eaten alone. Eat fruits alone. This is my motto I tell to everybody. But so many of us are habituated with this fruit salads and this mango, yeah, fruit shake and all.
Hmm.
You might have it sometimes, but don't make it a habit. Don't
Hmm.
consume it every day. It's not going to do any good. You might have apple and banana together, but not with milk. I saw video of you today of ice cream. I guess you
Yeah,
made
yeah,
that ice.
yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
Sometimes we love these foods. We might have them, but don't make it a habit of combining your fruits with any other food items, and
Okay,
especially never with milk because it's
okay,
viruddhahar. That's
okay.
what we call in Ayurveda. They are of different potency. That is why.
Got it. So I mix coconut milk and fruit. Is that
Coconut is okay.
okay?
Yeah,
Coconut.
yeah, yeah.
So
Vegan is
coconut is
okay, but
fruit.
that is why. Yeah, coconut
Okay,
is a fruit, so it's
okay,
okay. But milk, cow's milk, if it's vegetarian, no.
okay. Got it, got it. So I mix banana and coconut milk and strawberries.
It
But
was
yeah,
coconut milk, yeah.
yeah, it was
That
coconut
was
milk.
perfect.
Okay, great. Uh, okay, I'm just quickly. I want to gain weight. Rajesh is asking. I want to gain weight. Please tell me something about this.
Losing weight is damn easy, but gaining weight is quite tough.
Yeah.
Quite tough. But we need to know what's the problem. I mean, whether you have worms in your tummy, which is taking all your vitamins, your calcium, your protein, or it could be just your over overexcited digestive system.
Hmm. Hmm.
Without knowing the cause, it's not possible. That's about Ayurveda.
Yeah.
So many people are asking things, but there are few things which works for everybody, and ghee in this case will work for you, I guess. I
Hmm.
mean, just consume 1 teaspoon of ghee in your khichdi, in your rice, or just raw if you like. This is going to help you gain weight. But about other things, I really need to know what's the problem.
And how about consuming honey with cold water? Is that also helpful in gaining weight?
See, honey is hot in potency. Honey is having a scrapping nature. So it won't be useful for weight gain, especially weight gain. But yes, we might combine it with other weight gaining herbs with honey, then it will be okay. But
Okay.
just with water, cold water, honey is very good for strength. Especially honey, if we are having with cold water, it's best for strength. The people who feel really weak, who are tired
Hmm.
before it's night, bedtime, for them, honey is very nice. You might have it at night or in the morning with just normal water. It's best for strength,
Okay.
muscle building. But yeah, it doesn't help in boosting weight unless and until it's mixed with few herbs, weight
Got
gaining
it.
herbs.
Okay, lovely. Um, okay, one more question is about something for reducing heavy bleeding for women.
Reducing heavy bleeding. Yeah, even for that, we need to know the cause. That it could be fibroid, it could be PCOD, it could be your thyroid. Um, But for now, I don't think anything is. We have this Ayurvedic herbs like Nat Kesar. I don't know she must be knowing about that or not. But it's a herb. It works best for bleeding disorders. It's known
Okay.
as Naga Kesar. So
Now,
you can have it in the powder form. That is definitely going to work. Also,
okay.
all the cold herbs like Shatavari. You might be knowing about Shatavari. It's
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
yeah. So Shatavari is really good for this because it's cold in potency. It's very good for female reproductive system. It even helps for weight gain. So yeah, Shatavari even helps for reducing your bleeding.
Okay, lovely, lovely, great. And Shatavari, you can just consume it like in a tablet or capsule form.
Yeah, tablet, capsule, powder form. You have it with milk every day. Best for you.
Okay, great, great. Okay, lovely. This is so good. This has been so helpful, Dr. Diksha. I'm so glad that we were able to do this. Okay, one question's just come in. Minnie's asking about nasya and sinusitis. So you want to talk about this?
Yes. Nasya is a procedure in Ayurveda which helps in all kinds of disorders, especially related to head and nose. It's known as supraclavicle region. I mean, all the problems of this head region, and brain is something which is here. So it helps in every disorder. You know,
Okay.
our nervous system is very important. So for
Hmm.
that, and yes, in sinusitis, it does help. Just a little bit of cow's ghee at night. You just heat it for around 2 minutes and not direct heating. You heat your water a little bit, then put your ghee in that water. Once it turns a little bit liquid, it's a little bit of warm, then you can just instill 2 drops of cow's ghee in both your nostrils at
Nostrils,
night
yes,
before you sleep.
yes,
It
yes.
will make you sleep like a baby.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so great because we also recommend this. You know, a lot of times when people struggle with certain pranayams that they can't do because of blocked nostrils, because of sinusitis,
Long nostrils.
so we suggest
Yes.
this, that they use ghee like nasal drops for a few days, and that helps a lot. From a yoga
Yes.
practice perspective, if you're struggling with sinusitis, then the best practice for you to learn is Jalneti. So Jalneti is a
I was
phenomenal
I was
practice.
just thinking about it.
Yeah,
Yes, perfect. Just a little bit of salt in your warm water and
yeah.
neti is
So
all you
once
need.
you learn Jal Neti, you will never have sinusitis problems again. That is also
Yes,
brilliant.
with guarantee, really.
Okay. Help with osteoporosis diet, Neeta's asking. So if someone's suffering
Mm,
from osteoporosis.
See, osteoporosis means you have less of calcium, you
Bone
have less of
density.
vitamin D in your body. Yeah, that's porous. Your bones are porous, is osteoporosis.
Got it.
So you need to have this iron, proper iron, because iron also helps in this absorption of your calcium and vitamin D. So I would suggest you foods like jaggery. You can have jaggery, you can have sesame seeds,
Hmm.
you have this moringa powder. It's very good for bones.
Hmm.
Also, along with that, milk is something which is very good for calcium. If you're vegan, you might have a coconut milk. You can have this almond milk, soya milk. That's best for you.
Hmm.
But for
Okay.
that, you need certain medicines too. If you're even massage will help you. Massaging with a little bit of sesame oil is good. Even with castor oil is good because castor is hot in potency. Massaging with that, if because of osteoporosis, it's not just with bones. You might have your knee joint ache, you might have your shoulder ache, you might have so many muscles ache along with that. So massaging with that will help you do that. But we have medicines. You need to consume few medicines, or you might need few supplements for that. You might need vitamin D or iron or calcium. Depends on your levels about that. But these things you can have on daily basis, and it's going to benefit you. You can have this moringa drumstick in the form of soup, or the leaves powder or capsules, jaggery with a little bit of til, that is sesame laddu you can make with a little bit of ghee. It's best for all osteoporosis patients.
Lovely, lovely, great. Okay, one last question, Dr. Diksha, before we
Sure.
start wrapping up. Piyush is asking how to take ashwagandha. So, how should ashwagandha be consumed?
See, best way to consume ashwagandha is with milk,
Okay.
because in Ayurveda we talk about anupan. Anupan is something which we use as a catalyst, as an enzyme. Like, for example, honey is an anupan. Like, you might have heard about the Shitopladi churna, which we have
Mm-hmm.
during sore throat or cough and
Correct,
cold.
correct,
We use
correct.
it with honey because honey helps reach that target organ. So,
Mm-hmm.
especially with ashwagandha, if we have it with milk, milk is the best anupan.
Got
If
it.
you consume it with milk, it will be best. It it will be very easily digested in your body, and you'll
Got
procure the maximum benefits and have it at night before you sleep. So it will even help you sleep very nicely.
Yeah, because it
It is
causes a
also
little
good.
bit of sleepiness, right?
Yeah,
Consuming.
the name, yeah, the name of ashwagandha, Latin name is Vidania somnifera. Som is to sleep.
Sleep. Got it. Got
So,
it.
yeah, people suffering from insomnia or people who are restless at night, anxious, I mean, so many thoughts going in their mind. All of them can have a little bit of ashwagandha with milk at night and they'll feel really calm.
Wow. Stephen is asking if milk causes mucus. At least for me individually, it does.
Yes, it does because if you're having cold milk, yes, it is definitely going to cause mucus, but milk milk is the same treatment for the mucus as well. A little bit of lukewarm milk with honey. If you like honey, you might add, or else jaggery, a little bit of turmeric and black pepper. You might add cinnamon if you like. And that is best to release all the mucus from your body. Even for mucus, methi seeds. That is, methi is, you might have
Fenugreek.
heard of cumin and fenugreek. Yes, fenugreek. It just went out of my mind. So both of this are very useful. Just soak them overnight, boil it in the morning, and consume it. It's best for releasing the mucus.
Okay.
Even steam inhalation is good. Just heat your water a little bit with carom seeds, ajwain we call it, and just inhale that. That will help the breakdown of mucus in your lungs and your throat.
Okay, brilliant. Wow. This has been so phenomenally beneficial, Dr. Deeksha. I can't tell you, like, such immense knowledge, and it's so great to sort of, hear your immense words of wisdom on this. So thank you so much. This was so great.
This is too much.
And
This
more
is
than
too much.
anything, I feel like I've learned so much in this session. And a lot of the things that we've studied in our yoga program got reconfirmed, which is so great because these ancient sciences, they run so deep, and the kind of intelligence and wisdom that comes from there is just phenomenal. So I'm
Yes.
so glad that we could marry the two in today's session.
Yes, Ayurveda considers this yoga and Ayurveda are like sister sciences. They are like soul sisters. One cannot exist with another. I mean, if you want to learn Ayurveda, you need to go deep, and yoga helps us do that.
Absolutely.
So without yoga, Ayurveda is incomplete.
That is so beautifully put. Thank you so much, Deeksha. This was so lovely for me. And I'm just so grateful that I got to learn so much from you.
I learned a lot as well. This is like grooming my knowledge. Really, I mean, when people ask and suddenly if I have to say something, I learn a lot with each and everything around. And this made me really happy. I mean, this is a really productive day, I would say. Since morning, I have been less productive. I enjoyed the session, really.
I'm so glad. This was so great, and I'm so glad that you agreed to do this. So thank you for that.
Oh, I would. It's an honor, trust me. I mean, I really felt, for a minute, I was like, was that you who asked me to do? I mean, I was like, really? I'm really honored. I'm glad. Thank you for inviting. Thank you for asking me to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone, to each and every one of you who joined. And I'm so glad we could do this today. And a lot of people have been messaging me, about questions specific to diet. And a lot of times, I don't have the kind of immense knowledge that you do. So today you answered every these questions so beautifully. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.